Hi everyone, so my name's Rima and I'm one of the interns here. Perhaps you remember me from the nature presentation. So this lesson is just a little bit different. It's on being happy and navigating how to be content in life. So I do have a lot of points here that I want to discuss. And once again, I've taken the initiative of constructing this agenda for us so that it can help both you and I stay on track. So let's talk happiness. We're going to kind of discuss this definition of happiness, or what does it mean to be happy? We're also going to go ahead and talk about the benefits of contentment, or the benefits of being happy. This is one of the most important points in my opinion. Can materialistic items achieve happiness? Okay, that's something we're going to spend a little bit of time on. Then we're going to play a little bit of a game, per se, called Do You Think This Person Is Happy? We're going to talk about the pursuit of happiness, how to spread joy, and just some things to do every day to make yourself happy and perhaps the people around you as well. Then, of course, we're going to end it off with an assignment, but I promise you it's fun. Okay, let's get started. So defining happiness. Okay, so this slide is really important. I really want to get the message across that no one can truly tell you what happiness is or isn't, right? So especially because you're all so young, as you navigate through life, you're going to find that certain experiences, certain things, certain people bring you this happiness, this sense of contentment. And nobody can tell you that those things don't make you happy or that that's the wrong definition of happiness. It's very subjective, meaning it's very specific to you. So everyone has a different perception of what being happy really means, right? And overall, it's up to you to find what brings you joy and to construct your own opinion from there. So despite the fact that this definition of happiness is very subjective, we can develop a generic definition for it. So we can name happiness as the state of being happy, to feel pleasure or contentment, and overall just this sense of well-being or comfort, just this feeling of ease, right? So sometimes happiness is difficult to describe, but you just know it when you feel it. It'll always be one of those things that you just can't really tell people how it feels, right? You know you're happy and you can feel it. That's when you really know. It's more of a feeling than something you can just look up in a dictionary. Okay. So despite the fact that it is very subjective, there's always some type of concrete definition we as humans can follow, right? Kind of as a guide on what this feeling really is like. It's a feeling everyone deserves to feel, is what I say. So I kind of wanted to put it into perspective a little bit and talk about a few examples of happiness and things you may experience or the people around you may experience in your everyday lives. So laughing with your friends, I mean, this is such a simple one, but you probably feel such a sense of joy when you're just laughing and having fun with the people around you. It's very comforting. When someone says they're proud of you, this is a really great one. So when someone says, hey, like, you did an awesome job, I'm so proud of you, it kind of makes your heart feel warm, makes you happy. Getting a good grade, I mean, that's always such a great feeling. I think we can all, as students, agree upon. Hugging your parents, I mean, that's such a just feeling of ease and comfort, right? Happy. Eating your favorite food. This is a great one. I mean, when maybe your parents or, whomever, they tell you that you're going to have your favorite food for dinner and you just get so excited, or for breakfast or whatever it is. And, you might feel happy in that moment and excited, and it's great. It's a great feeling. Okay, so those are just like a few, again, concrete examples that I'm sure everyone can agree that brings them a sense of comfort and ease and just happy, makes you happy. Okay, so yeah, I have a little video there. So benefits of contentment. So why do we want to be happy so bad? What's that about? So I just wanted to kind of clear the air. I know I'm throwing around all these words and it might get a little bit confusing. Contentment and happiness are almost the same thing. I mean, they pretty much are the same thing. But to be content just means to be happy or satisfied. And it's a feeling of gratitude that's long lasting most of the time. Yeah. So when I say maybe you're happy in the moment, I'm talking about in the moment. Contentment is usually something that lasts a longer time. It's a duration of happiness, but that's not important. I just wanted to kind of clear the air about that. So what are the benefits of being happy? Well, we develop a peace of mind when we're happy. Perhaps even just a clear head, and you just feel great, right? You feel great about everything. It's a good feeling. Stronger relationships with your friends and your family. I mean, that's an important one, right? Distinguishing wants and needs. That's a great one. That's a great point, right? Because if we're content in life, then we can, we're not chasing our wants, right? We can say, maybe I don't need that right now, because you're not chasing something to make you happy, right? As humans, that's something that we do really often. So contentment is generally long lasting versus happiness is typically in the moment, right? These things are usually in the moment. So yeah, contentment is kind of a way to be happy. Okay. So materialism and happiness. I mean, this is a really important point that I thought it was just necessary to touch base on, especially for children of your age. I mean, this is an important thing to kind of get in your mind now. So people, humans tend to believe that if an individual has a lot of money, right? So if we're talking about materialistic things, let's talk about money. Then that person must be really happy with their life, right? I mean, they have so much money, they can buy anything that they want. They must be so happy. Do you think that's true? I want you to kind of take a minute or so and just think about that. Just try to, process that in your mind. Do you think that if I have a lot of money, I mean, I can go out and buy a whole island if I wanted to. Do you think I'm happy? Do you think that brings me happiness or perhaps contentment? Do you think if I won the lottery, I would just be the happiest person on earth? Maybe in the moment, sure. But I want you to think in terms of contentment. Do you think that money provides contentment in life? Do you think it's going to make me really content with my own life? Think about that. So do you think that's true? Okay, got your answer? Okay, keep that answer in your head. I want you to keep that in the back of your mind as we navigate throughout this presentation. Okay, so here's a bit of a game. Do you think this person is happy? So perhaps you've heard of this man, this actor, Robin Williams. He's an American actor and comedian. Funny guy, amazing actor. His net worth, right? Let's talk about his money. His net worth was $50 million. 50 million US dollars. That's how much he was worth. All his assets included $50 million. Think about that. $50 million. Okay, now that you know this fact, do you think that he's happy? I mean, it all connects back to this slide, right? I mean, if he has a lot of money, what was your answer here? What was your answer here? Because if you answered yes, then I'm only assuming that you would think that Robin Williams was a happy guy, right? You would think that he's content. If you answered no, then my only assumption is that you would also say Robin Williams was not a happy guy. Or maybe he wasn't happy, who knows, right? Well, let's get into that. Let's get into the truth. The truth. This is a quote that I love. No matter what people tell you, words and ideas can change the world. Yeah, it's a little bit irrelevant, but it's a great quote. So, he actually suffered from severe depression for years. I mean, isn't that insane? He was really sad. He was sad. So let me process this. Let's process this together. So we have a comedian, he's an actor, he's a celebrity. Look at his net worth. I mean, $50 million, that's insane. It's insane. But he was really sad, very sad. So what does this tell you? What does this tell you? No, materialistic items, even if it is money, they won't ever buy, money can't ever buy you happiness. So he was actually really sad for years, despite his net worth of 50 million US dollars, he was very sad. So there's a lesson in there. So, no matter, regardless of how you define happiness, it's so crucial. I can't emphasize it enough to understand that it doesn't reside in materialistic items, especially money, guys. That's not where happiness is, right? You're going to find, I'm positive, you're going to find more happiness in laughing with your friends or hugging your parents or, getting an A than you ever will in money. You're going to find so much more happiness in that. Okay? I promise. I know that can be hard to believe sometimes, but I mean, look at this example. He had so much money, guys. He still was sad. So if you answered yes to this, I really want you to rethink that. Especially after this presentation, I want you to kind of formulate that in your mind and, think about your answer here. Okay, money will never buy you happiness. Never. You find happiness in the little things, right? A lot more than just money. Okay, so let's talk about the pursuit of happiness. So I believe that the pursuit of happiness begins once you kind of constructed or established your own definition for happiness, right? Because in order to pursue something, we gotta understand what it is we're chasing. So I think that you should kind of define happiness and then pursue it from there. So oftentimes, and I love this saying, happiness finds you rather than you finding it. And that's really the beauty of happiness. It finds you. You're just living your everyday life and you find what makes you happy. You find what makes you happy and suddenly, right, you're like, this is what happiness is. You have this realization and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. And then your pursuit begins. It's really a beautiful thing. So let's talk about how we can spread joy. I mean, we've talked so much about happiness. Let's talk about how we can spread it, right? So express gratitude. Listen deeply. I really like this point. When your friend or someone, maybe your family or even a stranger, when they're talking to you, really listen, right? I'm sure we can all agree that you can always tell when someone is or isn't listening. So listen deeply to people, right? Really pay attention. It'll make you and the other person happier, I'm sure of it. Positive intentions, right? Do things with good intentions. Talk about what brings you joy. Maybe at the end of the day, with you, maybe your friend, someone from your family, talk about what made you happy that day, right? Think about what makes you happy and implement that every day. If I can stress one thing on you today, that's what I would stress. Think really deeply about what brings you joy and implement that in your everyday life, right? Not only will it make you happy or bring you joy, but it'll probably do the exact same thing for the people around you. And, that's the greatest gift of all, is spreading joy. So these are all great points, and I'm sure you can even formulate your own, right? So just some things to do each day for happiness. So smile more. I mean, that's such an easy one, but it really does bring you this sense of joy. Smile more often, maybe play outside more, get some fresh air, some vitamin D, sleep more, right? Get your 8 hours of sleep, and trust me, it'll make such a difference. Spend more time with friends and family. I mean, especially the people who really make you happy. Keep them close to you. Help others, right? If you see someone who maybe needs a helping hand, give it to them. Give it to them. Be kind. Just be kind to others, right? Treat others the way you would want to be treated. Again, we talked about gratitude. Learn something new. So enjoy learning in school, right? I mean, you're leaving with all this new information every day. It's incredible. Find happiness in that. There's so much joy and beauty in that. Education really is one of the greatest gifts of all. That's why I'm so happy to be a part of this. Surround yourself with happy people. That's a great point that I really feel like not enough people talk about. Surround yourself with people who bring you joy and that you give joy. Your whole circle of friends or family you guys should all bring each other joy and just make each other happy. So surround yourself with those people. Pay attention to who makes you feel good and spend more time around them, right? And also be that person who makes others feel good, right? It's amazing. I mean, all these points connect so well. That's the beauty of happiness. It's all relative. Okay, we're finally at the end. Assignment time. So after all that talking about happiness, I really hope this presentation made you happy. I hope I could give some joy to you today, because this really does bring me joy. Hope it does the same for you. So on a blank piece of paper, I want you to answer the following. How would you define happiness? Right? We said that happiness is subjective, So how would you define it? I mean, give me a generic definition for it. I want to hear your perspective. Then I have one more task for you guys. I want you to ask a friend what makes them happy, right? Talk about what brings them joy. I want you to write down the name of your friend and the things that you guys talked about. Tell me about it. Okay, yeah, this was amazing. And I really hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. And again, I hope it brought you some joy today. I hope you learned something new. I can't wait to hear your responses, and have a great rest of your day. Happy learning, guys.